All right, guys, so this is a really tactical one but very effective. Trust me, guys, this strategy I'm about to share with you guys is really effective. Nothing good comes easy though, so you have to pay good attention and make sure to understand everything I'm going to be explaining in this video before you get to apply it in your live accounts. Always endeavor to try out these things on a demo account, right? Make sure that you are conversant with every condition that I instruct you to see in the market before you take an entry. It's very important because you know the market does not respect anybody, right? Sometimes you get to make mistakes and all of that. So make sure at least if it's going bad, you will learn something, right? Don't just rush in because you want to make money and just think you should just enter at any given time and take an entry. Okay, so this strategy is very powerful, but it's very tactical, right? It's very tactical, but I'm going to take my time to explain how it works. That's worked for me over time. It works best with the crash 1000 and the boom 1000 market. All right, but for this video I'll be using the crash 1000 market to show you just how much profits you can bag using this strategy, how much you can maximize your gains using this strategy. But first of all, I'm going to go ahead to show you guys the setup. I don't want to waste time. I don't want this video to be too long. I don't have a lot of time on my side too, right? So I'm going to make this video really short. So let's go straight to adding the indicators, right? Now we are needing just 4 indicators for this strategy to work very effectively, right? We need Bollinger Bands, we need fractals. You guys, you know I'm in love with fractals myself. Like, I love any fractal strategy. Is usually very good. It's usually very good because the fractal indicator gives you clarity much more than many other indicators. So Bollinger Bands, fractal, MACD, and relative strength index. The two last indicators are going to be added on the indicator window 1, while the first two that I mentioned, the Bollinger Bands and the fractals, are going to be on our main chart. So for Bollinger Bands, let's go ahead to add period 20, shift 0, deviations will be 2.000. Apply to close. Levels are not needed, so just ensure to leave it empty. And then for visualization, leave it at all time frames first of all, and then choose colors that are really going to be visible in your chart, right? You can just follow the same colors that I'm using so that whatever I'm explaining will be clear, right, without you having to stress. So just use the colors I'm using. But if your chart is black background, for example, you can use bright colors, right? If your chart is black background, you can use bright colors. Okay, so click done when you're done with that, and you would have Bollinger Bands on your main chart. All right, you have Bollinger Bands on your main chart, just like what we have on this chart right here. Okay, so the next one will be the fractals. You want to leave it at default. Okay, don't tweak fractals, just leave it at default, and then click done when you're done with it. Of course, you can use the color. You can just use the color that I'm using, right, so that all of this will be clear as I'm explaining it. So click done when you're done with that, and then we move on to the next one, right, which is the MACD, and follow the setup here. Fast EMA 12, slow EMA 26, MACD SMA 9. Apply to close. When you click that, you'll see some options. Just choose close, and then visualization, you can use the colors I'm using here. Remember to leave no level. Make sure you don't add any level to this, and then just follow the colors that I'm using, except the background of your chart is dark. Then you can use bright colors that will be visible on your chart. Right here, the main style I'm using blue. The second, the signal, I'm using red. All right, and then I'm using 2 pixels. That's fine. All right, click done when you're done with that, and you would have the setup on your chart. And then we move ahead to add the relative strength index. We are just going to be needing period 1. Apply to close. Levels should be 15 and 85. All right, when you go to that part, you can just add the color that I'm using, basically, so that as I'm explaining it, you'll be following. You don't have to. You don't want to be you don't want to misunderstand anything just because of colors that would have been easy for you if you had just followed the same instructions or the same colors I'm using on my chart. So click done. Oh, sorry about that. So click done when you're done with that, and then when you come back to this other interface, right, for style, please use the same color as the background of your chart. This is very important, right? The same color as the background of your chart is fine. So for myself, I'm using the white background right now, so my color is white. This is it. I'm using the white color right now. Okay, so I'm done with that. I'll click done, and I have all of my indicators intact, right? The Bollinger Bands, the fractals, the MACD, the relative strength index. For fractals, see the fractals indicator on your chart. Let me just point it out for people who are new to this. If you can see the red arrow pointed at the top and the bottom of the candlestick, the spike, right? So you can see there is an arrow at the peak and at the low of the candlestick. Now you want to follow the instructions I'll be sharing here to better maximize these indicators, this setup, this strategy basically, right? So ensure to understand what I'm going to be explaining and practice it, please. Practice it before you can forge ahead to put it on your live account and go make that money. Now, you have to understand the trend of the market, right? You have to see the trend of the market. You have to see the trend of the market. It's very important. You have to see the trend of the market. Now, Bollinger Bands is here to help you with that, right? For people who are in my mentorship class, my students, you will understand that trend is very important, right? I talk about trends a lot. I talk about trend a lot in my classes. And by the way, I'm offering a discount, a big discount on my next batch of the mentorship class, which is taking place, which is commencing on the 13th of next month. You guys don't want to miss that. So make sure you grab that offer. After this special offer, my price will go back to what it used to be, and I'm not even going to look back because I've kept this offer for quite a long time because I want to help everybody. I want us to all grow together. Now, Bollinger Bands is going to help you if you don't have price action knowledge. But for those of you who have, my students, for example, you will do well to check the trend of the market on a higher time frame, right? Check to see that the market is printing higher highs and higher lows, right? Higher highs and higher lows. Make sure you see a clear structure that is pointing upwards, right? A clear structure. You can use your trend lines, you can use whatever tool that I've taught you to use. So just make sure that you see a clear uptrend for the crash market. Now, this strategy is for scalping. Just take a couple of ticks and leave the market. We are not catching spikes here. We are trying to take some profit and leave before the spike comes in. So that's why for the crash market, you want to be buying, and you know too well that you want to buy only when the market is in an uptrend. So make sure that you see a clear trend. Please, for my students, this is specifically for my students, don't use Bollinger Bands to check the trend. I'm not saying it will help you, right? But I just want you to practice what you've been learning, right? Do the trend setting with your trend lines, or just use your naked eyes. Just try, right? For people who are new, allow them to enjoy the Bollinger Bands. Allow them to enjoy the grace that Bollinger Bands will offer them. But the truth is, you need to understand price action if you want to win in the long run, right? If you are somebody who wants to just risk it, take money now and leave and bounce and jolly and enjoy life and all of that. But if you're somebody who wants to stay in the market and be a trader for real, like you want to consistently trade and make profit from the markets, you have to understand the need, the arts rather of price action, right? The need for price action is actually what you need to know that you want, right? So please ensure to join our classes. If you can't even join if my class is too expensive for you, I don't know if $150 is too expensive for the amount of knowledge that we are going to embed in you. But if you have somebody else who is close to you, who you believe in, who is the good teacher that can show you these things without stressing you or without you stressing him, please ensure to learn these things, guys. It's very important. Ensure to learn it. Now, Bollinger Band is going to help you achieve the trend. So after you see the trend on the market, you know that the market is in an uptrend. That's what you want. You want to see the market in an uptrend. If you don't see the market in an uptrend, don't do anything. Just allow it. Go to another market. Check Boom 1000. If you check Boom 1000, you are looking for a selling market. You are looking for a downtrend. For the Crash 1000, you are looking for an uptrend. So if you don't see either of these, please don't trade. Just relax. Okay, go do something else until you find a clear trend. And then when you see a clear trend, you want to wait for price to, you want to see a spike that comes to the third trend line. Sorry, the third Bollinger Band line. This last one, right? Just like what happened here. Let me use the arrows. You can see market spiked into that last right there. It spiked into this last Bollinger Band. You can see we have 1, 2, 3, and all of these are pointing upwards because the market is in an uptrend. Okay, so once it spikes right into this level, and then you see the fractal indicator pop at that region, right? It pops at the low, right? At the lowest point where that market spiked to, right? The market closes around that region, right? It closes around the last Bollinger Band here. This is the first, this is the second, this is the last. Market closes right there, and then the fractals come up. If they appear right there, price starts going back inside those Bollinger Bands. Then it's a signal that the market is going to continue upwards, right? Now, for any reason that price breaks the Bollinger Bands and spikes below it, right? If it spikes below it, please, that setup is invalidated, right? Don't do anything, just allow it. But whenever you see that it respects the Bollinger Band, it spikes and closes right at that region, right, where you have the Bollinger Band. It might not be on the line, might not be exactly on the line. This is a region. This is a region. The line is just there to identify that region, to help you identify that region, right? It's not that it must be exactly on top of that line. Okay, so it's a region. Now, if it breaks that region, if it disrespects that Bollinger Band and just goes way beyond it, below it, right, leave that market alone. The setup is invalidated. But for any reason that it closes right at that region, either on that line or just slightly below that line, and then the market starts pushing up again, that is a clear sign that the uptrend is going to hold. That's an entry for you, but you shouldn't just enter yet until you meet the last condition I'm going to be explaining. So just please take your time and listen up. Now, if that happens, that gives you the second confirmation. The first confirmation is that the market is in an uptrend, right? However you chose to figure out your uptrend or your trend, if you use whatever tool you used, it's fine. But as far as you are sure that the market is in an uptrend, either by using Bollinger Bands or by looking at the chart yourself, if you know price action too well, right? The market is in an uptrend. That's the first signal, the first confirmation. And then this happens. Price gets to respect your Bollinger Band, the last one. Forget about the middle one. Forget about the first one, right? The last one. The only time that I consider the first one important is when price has broken above the first one, right? And then spikes into it and does not disrespect it, does not invalidate it. It continues back upwards. I mean, it reverses and goes back upwards, right? It drops into the region, and then right at that region, it goes back upwards. That's when that might give me an entry, right? But as far as price is coming into the Bollinger Bands from the first, the second, long as it respects the last, that's a clear support region for you, right? My students, of course, should understand how to find support region without these indicators, right? I don't teach anybody who pays me money to join my mentorship class how to use indicators. I just teach them pure price action, because I want you to do without these indicators. I want you to be able to wake up anytime, any day, and analyze the market without these indicators. Now, if those conditions, those two conditions are met, the next thing you want to see is that the market is in this region on your indicator window. Yeah, you want to see that price has come to right this region of your chart. Okay, remember I said it's not really, it doesn't have to be on the line, but make sure that price has dropped to the down part of your RSI. All right, what people call the oversold level, whatever that is. I don't like to call it that, but that's what a lot of people understand it as. But that is signaling a support region for you. So once this red line, right, if you use the same colors as I'm using, this would be very clear to you, right? So once this red line drops into this region, just like what happened here, and then the conditions on the main chart are met, trust me guys, long as it drops into this region and it starts pushing back upwards, it is a go for you, right? It is a signal that this uptrend is going to hold. You've met price at a good support level and you are likely to win that trade. If you know price action, please look at your higher time frames and see that price is at a key support region. All right, see that the price is at a key support region. My students should know how to identify a key support region. I'm proud of my students. That's why I like talking about them, right? A key support, you find a lot of support regions on the chart, but you have to spot out the key support region. That's what the indicators help those of you who are new into this just do for a time being, right? These things does not really stand the test of time, right? That's why you need price action, okay? Because the algorithm keeps getting updated, and then indicators that was set up for a particular algorithm gets invalidated. Now, once you see that price has come to that level, right? Now, you have seen a turnaround, right? The red line is beginning to push back upwards. That's a clear sign. Now, the last confirmation, you want to also see that the blue lines, your MACD, these blue lines, right? You need to see that it has formed a kind of structure right around that level, and it's going back upwards. If you look at this as candlesticks, you will see that it is creating higher lows right here. It is creating higher lows and it's going up like that. That is another clear sign that the market is going to respect the trend, is going to respect the support region, and you're going to have a good gain. You're going to make good gains if you take an entry right at that level. And then whatever you do, make sure that your SL is right below your entry, just below the structure, below this structure here. Sorry about that. Sorry. Yeah. So make sure that your SL is, if you entered here, if you took a buy here, ensure that your SL is right below that structure, right? So whatever happens, if it doesn't work out, you're just going to lose small. So that's why you need to catch your entry right at the regions that I just explained to you. Now, if you do that correctly, you're going to catch up to 20 to 30 candlesticks and leave the market. If you count it, you notice that from here, you see that, well, if I am to trade this, I would have allowed 1 or 2 candlesticks to close completely, or of course, yes, to close completely before I take my entry, before I take my buy, right? Before I long the market. So let's count from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 straight up candlesticks had opened and closed before a spike. And guess what? The spike did not even come anywhere close to your entry. But market reversed and kept going upwards, right? Market continued upwards. So this shows you that this is very, very real. This is very, very solid. This is very, very effective. And if you can use this well, you make a lot of gain for yourself, right? You can raise money from nothing to something, right? You can raise $100 to thousands of dollars, to hundreds of dollars, depending on your capacity, your ability to sit down and just trade. All right. Now, if you want to take an exit, right? If you make good profit and you want to leave, right? If you don't understand price action, please just follow the Bollinger Bands and leave just when price gets to from the from the bottom of the Bollinger Bands, that is from the last one here, leave when price gets to the first one at the top, right? Otherwise, you might have a spike happen and you don't know where it will go. You don't know how far it will go, right? But if you understand, if this indicator setup is just for confirmation to you, like I do for myself, I take my time to analyze the market without indicators, and then I just use the indicators to confirm what I have already seen. If that's the case for you, then you will have yourself some good profits before you leave the market. Like you can even decide to leave because you've seen that it's going to, there's 99% probability of the market pushing upwards, just like what happened here, right? You can see that it kept going. That means you would have made a lot more money. You can see how far this is going, right? God damn.